hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hello, KZOOMers.
Hey, hello.
So as I'm chanting hallelujah, after a while the chant starts to just chant itself, even though it's a kind of a complicated hallelujah. And I thought to myself, oh my God, who's chanting? I'm supposed to be the one that's chanting. It gets very confusing, and then I remember, like, oh yeah, I'm chanting. But the chant is just happening, and we allow it to transform us. So, oh, Joe, so nice to see you, Joe. Haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see all of your faces. Hey, Steve. Okay, we have to do this hallelujah once for Steve here, because it's like he missed it. So here. Hallelujah, 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 Hallelujah. It's hard to figure out where to stop there.
Yeah.
Right? So the theme for this week's KZOOM is rising to open. And it's inspired by this week's Parsha of Shir HaShirim that is like such an important moment in the song and in the song of our lives. It says, "Oh, my love reached in for the latch, and deep within me my heart stirred. I rose to open to my love, my hands dripping myrrh, my fingers flowing myrrh on the doorbolt." So what happened just before is the beloved was knocking, and there was a kind of a deep inertia in me. That was last week, where I didn't rise to open. But this is the moment where there's a shift. There is an awakening that says, now I rise to open to my beloved. And so this is what we're focusing on, and I was really kind of taken up with this idea that we can't open unless we rise. And there's so many times when I want to open to God, to this moment, to what's next for me. But if I don't do this practice of rising, meaning like raising up my consciousnness, raising my vibration, getting myself out of the morass or the tangle of my life, that there's a kind of a prerequisite to opening and receiving, that I'm not going to receive what God has to give me until, I'm not going to receive that until I find out how to rise up out of kind of this kind of pit that I find myself in, which is the place of conditioning, the place of habits, and this idea of lifting myself up also is what allows me to lift others up too. And speaking of lifting others up, I just want to introduce you to Nathan.
Nathan
who
Ryman, yay!
is going to be chanting with us tonight and visiting here.
Guest artist for tonight.
And
if you're in town, if you're close, you're invited. Come be with us.
Really. So I just wanted to start with this poem by Hafiz that I love. I sometimes forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy, my heart is too heavy for me to remember that I have been called to dance, the sacred dance for life. I was created to smile, to love, to be lifted up and lift up others up. Oh, sacred one, untangle my feet from all that ensnares. Free my soul that we might dance and that our dancing might be contagious.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved this idea of lifting up, and as we do that, then we lift others up as we do that. And so the first practice I want to do is called rising to open. And we can just think about just opening to, the blessing of this moment, the beauty of this moment, this moment that has never happened before. And there's so many times that I'm so kind of ensnared in my own thoughts and plans that I miss this moment that's right in front of me. I miss the beauty of it. And I need to rise up out of the snare of my thoughts, really, to be able to then meet the beloved as this moment, really. So let's try that. So there's two parts to it. The part that the guys will sing goes, Kamti,
ani liftoach
ledodi,
Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti, ani liftoach ledodi, Kamti,
invite you to just keep your eyes closed and feel that openness inside you and a kind of a willingness to rise up out of your place of inertia. And sometimes that inertia is a kind of a trauma response, really, and not being able to encounter the present moment because we're living in the past and the future, and so we shut down. And I think what happens is when we do that, when we get ensnared by our own minds, we open our eyes and we look at the world, and what we see is a kind of opacity rather than a transparency. When I'm in a place when the world is transparent, it means that the Shekhinah is flowing, that there's a divine presence that is rising out of the world, and it's really reflecting this my own place of the divine presence in me that is rising. So I wanted to do this practice that really is, we're calling this forth in ourselves, and we're also calling it forth in the world. We're kind of, and sometimes I feel like I'm knocking at the door of that opacity, that illusion that's in front of me. And I'm saying, rise up, O Shekhinah, O divine presence that is hidden in this world, rise up and meet me and awaken me. So it's a little bit of a catch-22 thing, because when I'm shut down, I don't see it out there. But then there's a glimpse, and that glimpse kind of awakens something in me. And I think that's what happened in the labyrinth today. Yeah, and Nathan and I went to the labyrinth today, and it just felt like when we both were at the center of the labyrinth, there was something penetrated our defenses, our conditioning, and we both, I think, had that same response of like opening to what was in front of us. And in order to do that, we have to take a little bit of a risk. David Steindl-Rast talks about gratefulness as really being the key to that process of receiving the beloved, and that gratefulness is contingent upon our willingness to be surprised. So he says, openness to surprise delivers on the big promise of grateful living, awareness of opportunity. When we live gratefully, we open all our senses toward opportunities, aware that they are always there, no matter our circumstances. We become surprised to discover opportunities between, behind, and around the things to which we have become accustomed. It is we who need to lean in, listen for them, and follow their invitations. The process of continually waking up points us to live more gratefully, with each opportunity seen as the chance to notice and appreciate the gifts in our midst. And each moment we are alive is a chance to truly live. Each moment we are alive is a chance to truly live. I just think I need to put that in skywriting on the sky, in the sky. Each moment. So, I want to call forth this moment in Torah, when the Israelites wandering through the wilderness are kind of traumatized by the death of Miriam and Aaron, and kind of like on the defensive, and they know they need to be able to open up inside them. So they go out into the wilderness and they call forth the Shekhinah. They say, in the form of the well of living waters, and they say to her, hidden presence, they say, alayich, ehnu-lah. Let's chant her up. Let's call forth that presence that is hidden in the world. And I kind of feel like I need to do that as well, to call it forth. And so it's alayich, the air, ehnu-lah. It's it's an ancient way of saying ehnu-lah is chant her up. And so if we want to even take a moment to just look out the window, or even just look around in the room that you're in, and say, oh, okay, I know you're hiding there. I know you're hiding there. And through my openness to and my willingness to be surprised, I'm going to call forth this hiddenness out of the world and call it forth. And then when it comes forth, it then has the power to awaken that place in me. It's a precious circle, right? Instead of a vicious circle, it's a precious circle. Alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah. Alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah. Alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah. Alayich, ehnu-lah. ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah.
ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich,
So I invite us to open our eyes and look onto the Zoom community here, and to look at these faces here, and to say inside each person here there is a well, a deep resource, a place of God's indwelling presence. And with our intention, we can chant each other up. So you can choose one person to chant to sort of look into their souls and see that well, that resource, that God spark in them, that flow that wants to be unstopped. And we'll see if we'll chant it up. Can you find somebody?
alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah.
And now find someone else. Look into their soul.
alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah.
Someone else is drawing you to them, and they're okay. You, yes, you.
alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah.
And one more person.
alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah, ehnu-lah, alayich, ehnu-lah.
So close your eyes and realize that you have also been chanted up now. So allow whatever is in you to rise up to meet this precious moment. So it is this innerness, that is kind of the key. So if we, sometimes I feel like the world is pulling me to the surface, and I'm living a little bit. If I'm living too much on the surface, then I lose touch some of the depths in me, and those depths are the key to being connected to the mystery, to the wide expanse. So there is this teaching from Arthur Green, Rabbi Art Green, who just defines, he says, spirituality is a view of religion that sees its primary task as cultivating and nourishing the human soul or spirit. Each person, according to this view, has an inner life that he or she may choose to develop. This inwardness goes deeper than the usual object of psychological investigation and cannot fairly be explained in Freudian or other psychological terms. Ultimately, it is transpersonal, reaching beyond the individual and linking him, her to all other selves and to the single spirit or self of the universe we call God. God is experientially accessible through the cultivation of this inner life. I really like that because he makes this distinction between the psychological work that we do, which is also really important, but he's sort of saying, like, that's not enough. Like, we need to go through the personal to the transpersonal. It's kind of deep, even, it's like we're not going to ignore the personal, but we are going to sort of like find that deeper place, that place inside us where we're all connected. You get it. And if I want to feel connection, I go in there to find you. And it's really different than going out there and trying to get you out from here, It's like I want to go inside, and there you are. And then when I open my eyes to see you, I already know you inside my heart. There's a different kind of intimacy there. But somehow that place of innerness, sometimes gets kind of stuck, or and we have to call it forth, just like we called the well forth. This chant, which I wrote a long time ago for High Holidays, I think it was, from Psalm 3, verse 8. It says, rise up, Kumah. And that's a word that we're repeating with a lot of these chants. Kumah, Adonai. So rise up, O you masterful one inside me. Kumah, Adonai. And then there's a kind of a plea that says, Hoshiyeyni, Elohai. My God, save me. And I always kind of put in parentheses, from my own mishigas. Save me from my habits. Save me from those patterns that keep me disconnected from that great mystery. Save me. And it's like inviting some depth inside you to rise up. And I love chanting this, and I call it calling forth the hidden power. And lately I've been, whenever I feel like a challenge in the world, which is like every day, I say these words to myself. I say, how do you want to meet this challenge? It's sort of like a given that the challenges are there. And this is kind of how the world is made. Those challenges, those difficulties, that discord is there. But the one kind of variable that I need to focus on is how will I meet this, whatever it is? How will I meet it? Will I meet it with fear? Will I meet it with love? Those are the two main choices.
That's pretty much it, yeah, one or the other.
But maybe even like, what midot, what qualities do I want to unlock inside me in order to meet the challenge of this moment? And it feels like an important question. Instead of saying, how do I control the world to be what I want it to be, which is kind of a losing battle, it's like, okay, the world is as it is. Now, how will I meet it? And to me, that is empowering. And that's the choice that I have. The choice that I have is, how will I meet it? What will I open up inside me to meet it? And when I don't do that, I'm paralyzed. You know, I don't. Or I'm alienated from the world. But if I want to say, I want to come and meet this world, I want to engage with it from a place of my own hidden power, my own God spark, really. So, so let's take a couple moments in silence first to focus on the breath and breathe into, imagine your own depths. Breathing into those depths. And breathing out from those depths. And speaking to God at the center of your being with a kind of an invitation that says, rise up, rise up. You know, save me from being stuck on the surface of things. Kumah, Adonai, Hoshiyeyni, Elohai, 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 Hoshiyeyni, Elohai,
Kumah, Adonai, Hoshiyeyni, Elohai, Kumah, Adonai, Hoshiyeyni, Elohai, Kumah,
Chanting this to the center of your being.
Kumah, Adonai,
Rise up.
Hoshiyeyni, Elohai, Kumah, Adonai, Hoshiyeyni, Elohai, Kumah, Adonai, Hoshiyeyni,
Again, close your eyes, bring your attention to the breath, and breathe into the center of your being. And as you exhale, feel yourself kind of shining out from that center place. So breathing in, opening, breathing out, and shining that light that is locked up inside you. So we are freeing that authentic self, which is that God self inside us. We're freeing it, and we are becoming radiant, really. And I see that as one of the goals of practice, really, is to become radiant beings. And when we do that, we shine that God light into the world, and I think it makes a difference. And it's a bit like dancing. It's a bit contagious too. You know, it gives everyone else the permission to also shine their God light too. And as I was kind of thinking about this idea of becoming radiant, I felt like it was really tied to this idea of becoming the beloved, of knowing oneself as beloved, and that when we do that, that's actually what kind of unlocks, you know, when we know that we know how we are loved unconditionally, not for anything that we do, but for our simple act of simple existence. Our being itself is beloved of God, of the whole. And to know ourselves as beloved, I think, then just allows that radiance to shine. And I just want to come back to a couple of teachings about being the beloved that I keep coming back to. One is from Henry Nouwen, from a book called Life of the Beloved. He says, "Dear friend, being the beloved is the origin and the fulfillment of the life of the Spirit. I say this because as soon as we catch a glimpse of this truth, we are put on a journey in search of the fullness of that truth, and we will not rest until we are... And we will not until we can rest in that truth. From the moment we claim the truth of being the beloved, we are faced with the call to become who we are. Becoming the beloved is the great spiritual journey we have to make. Becoming the beloved." And I think it's the same thing as becoming radiant, really. And then Jean Houston, in her book that says The Search for the Beloved, she has a similar teaching, but she has her own way of turning a phrase. She says, "The search for the beloved is the lure of human becoming. As you allow the beloved to grow within you, you will discover a steadfastness to the spiritual journey that comes your way in the most remarkable fashion. It will seem that you have been clearly put on a journey of transformation that provides for a deep maturation of the psyche and access to the potentials of your own being." And those potentials of your own being, that's your light. That's your unique light, the light that only you can shine. So our last practice of this KZOOM is the practice of shining. And we're going to do this, anybody who's shruting along, we're going to do this with an F and a B flat for any shrutiers. But again, look into those depths and find the light and see if we can shine. And you know, very early on this path of chanting for me, I received this message, and it said to me, "You are to transform sound into light." And I said, "What? What does that mean? You are to transform sound into light." So I give that to you now, if you would like to transform sound into light, by taking that light in you and finding the intention to shine.
Kumi oraych, kiva oraych, ukol Adonai, alayich, zarach. Kumi oraych,
Close your eyes, breathe into the heart. Find inside the heart that shining God light that's inside you. And just become a little transparent. Allow that light to shine and fill your whole body. Let it shine off of your skin and shine into the world, meeting the light of everybody else. So I invite you just to take a look around the KZOOM room, shine a little light, and see a little bit of that light that's shining from everyone here.
Hey, sweet faces. I gotta say.
And,
Bye. You need to go.
so I wanted just to say that there, if you haven't, okay. Well, no, I can say this on the recording. I want to say that that my book, Are We There Yet, is now an audiobook, and you can get it.
Read by herself.
You can get it wherever you get your audiobooks. You can listen to it during your travels, and it was really fun to read it to you. It will be fun for you to hear it and listen to it. Well, even maybe while you're traveling, you know, while you're driving, while you're flying. Oh, look, there's the clap. She's clapping. Yeah.